Good morning, children. So we are starting with part 8. In the previous parts, we have discussed how to calculate cash flow from operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities separately. Now, in this part, we are going to discuss how to prepare a full-fledged cash flow statement. Preparation of cash flow statement. Net cash from operating activities is to be shown under part A. Net cash from investing activities is to be shown under part B, and net cash from financing activities is to be shown under part C of the cash flow statement. This means that your cash flow statement will be divided into three parts: part A, operating activities; part B, investing activities; and part C, financing activities. You cannot change the sequence. Point number 2, total of part A, B and C will be the net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalents. That means after calculating the net cash flow from or used in operating, investing and financing activities separately, after the three activities are being calculated, we will add them together, and if the balance is coming into a positive balance, then it will be an increase, or if it is a negative balance, then it will show a decrease in cash and cash equivalents during the period. The third point says, if the balance of cash and cash equivalents at the beginning is added to this figure, that means to the total of A, B and C, that is the increase or decrease of cash and cash equivalents, when we add the opening balances of cash and cash equivalent to it given in the question, ultimately the total of these two should be equal to the closing balances of cash and cash equivalents. So it will basically reflect the closing balances of cash and cash equivalent, and also it will be a cross check, we can say. So if the balance of cash and cash equivalents at the beginning is added to this figure, it will amount to the balance of cash and cash equivalents at the end of the period, and hence the accuracy of the solution stands automatically verified. That means if it is exactly coming to the closing balance of cash and cash equivalents, that means there are chances that we have not made any mistake in the cash flow statement. Now the next adjustment, you can say, which is required, we have already discussed this point, but we need to do it in depth. Provision for income tax. Now, provision for income tax appearing on the liability side of previous year balance sheet will be treated as payment of tax during the year. This we have already discussed, that provision for tax of the previous year will deem to be paid in the current year, and therefore it will be deducted under the operating activities after the adjustment regarding the current asset and current liability has been done. And any provision for the current year income tax will be added back to the profits in the while calculating net profit before tax under the operating activities. So as we can read, hence it will be deducted while calculating net cash from operating activities. It will be deducted from cash generated from operations. Then the second paragraph says, provision for income tax appearing on the liability side of the current year's balance sheet will be added back to profit before tax in case of operating activities in step number 1, because net profit before taxation is to be shown under the heading cash flow from operating activities. Now the preparation of provision for tax account. How do we need to prepare the provision for tax account, and when do we need to prepare the provision for tax account? Just like we have learned how to prepare and why to prepare the fixed asset account and accumulated depreciation account, in the similar fashion there might be a situation when we are required to prepare the provision for taxation account. So case number 1, sometimes the opening and closing amount of provision for tax are given in the question, that is the previous year balance and the current year balance, and actual tax paid during the year is also given. So how can we assume that the opening balance is also the tax paid and the tax paid given in the question is also the tax paid? So in such a case, provision for tax account has to be prepared so as to ascertain the amount of provision for tax made during the current year, because in that case when the opening and closing balance and also the amount of tax paid is given, so in that case we need to prepare the provision for tax account, and the objective will be to calculate the correct amount of provision for tax for the current year, and then only it can be added back to the net profit before tax. Case number 2, in case opening and closing amount of provision for tax are given in the question, and provision for tax made during the current year is also given, then see, in this case opening closing is given and provision for current year tax is also given. Then in that case what we will do, again we will prepare the provision for tax account, but it will be prepared now to find out the actual tax paid during the year, which has to be deducted under the operating activity. So these are the two cases when you have to prepare the provision for tax account. Now proposed dividend, this we have already discussed beforehand, but just a repetition. According to the revised accounting standard 4, contingencies and events occurring after the balance sheet date, proposed dividend is not provided in the books but is shown in the notes to account as contingent liability. Here we are talking about the proposed dividend of the current year. In other words, it will not appear as short-term provision on the liability side of the balance sheet. The effect of proposed dividend on cash flow statement will be as follows. Proposed dividend for the previous year, it will be shown as an outflow of cash in financing activities, assuming it has been declared or approved at the AGM or annual general meeting of shareholders in the current year. This we have already discussed. It will also be added to net profit for determining the net profit before tax. Then proposed dividend for the current year. There will be no effect of proposed dividend of current year on cash flow statement because it will be declared or approved at the annual general meeting of shareholders to be held after the end of financial year, that is in the next financial year. So that means proposed dividend of the current year will not be shown anywhere. It will just be shown as a contingent liability in the notes to accounts while preparing the balance sheet. But proposed dividend of the previous year will be deemed to be repaid to be paid in the current year, approved and paid in the current year, and therefore that proposed dividend of the previous year will be added back while calculating the net profit before tax, as well as it will be deducted as a cash outflow under the financing activities. Then the last adjustment is payment of interim dividend. So if interim dividend is paid given in the adjustments, it will be added back to the profits to calculate net profit before tax, that we have already discussed, and will also be shown as a payment of cash under the heading cash flows from financing activities. So basically these were the adjustments which we have done till now. So here we come to an end with the adjustments regarding your cash flow statement. Now we will be discussing few of the full-fledged questions in this video as well as in the upcoming video. The question says, following are the balance sheets of Quick Gains Limited. Now as you can see, the vertical format of balance sheet is given to you since it's a company. The current year balances are shown as 31st March 2018 and the last year balances are shown as 31st March 2017. So the first is shown as share capital. No working note is given, no note number is given. So we can see that last year it was 2 lakh, current year also it is 2 lakh. So that means there is no inflow or outflow of cash. Then reserve and surplus, last year it was 20,000, current year it is 1,25,000. Again, no note number is given, so we will assume that this reserve and surplus is basically showing the statement of PL balance. So therefore we will get to know the profit or loss by deducting the previous year balance from the current year balance, that is 1,25,000 minus 20,000. So that means 1,05,000 will be the profit with which the working for net profit before tax will start in the working note. Then next one is long term borrowings. Again, no note number is given, simply it is given last year it was 50,000 and current year it is 75,000. That means there is an increase in long term borrowings by 25,000 rupees. So this implies, in the absence of any information, this implies that long term borrowings worth rupees 25,000 more was taken by the company from the bank or anywhere else, and therefore this proceed from long term borrowing will be a cash inflow and it will be added under the financing activity. Then the next one is trade payables, current liabilities, trade payable. Last year it was 90,000, current year it is 64,000. So that means there is a decrease in trade payables or current liabilities. So any decrease in current liability will be added to the operating profit before working capital changes. Then the next one is short term provisions, and in bracket it is mentioned that this is the provision for tax. So last year provision was 10,000 and current year provision is 15,000. So we will see further whether the provision for tax account is required or not. So if the account is required, then we'll do accordingly. If the account is not required, then the previous year's provision for tax 10,000 will be deducted as income tax paid under the operating activities, and the current year provision of tax rupees 15,000 will be added back to the profit while calculating net profit before tax. Then coming over to the assets, you can see fixed asset, a note number is given to you, number 1, and last year balance is showing 1,84,000 and current year it is showing 3,23,000. So we'll come over to the working note as well. The inventory, last year it is showing 50,000, current year it is showing 72,000. So that means there is an increase in the value of current asset with 22,000. So any increase in the value of current asset will be deducted from operating profit before working capital changes. Now similarly, trade receivables, last year it was 75,000, current year it is 51,000. That means there is a decrease in current asset, and this decrease in current asset will be added to the operating profit before working capital changes. Then cash and cash equivalents, last year it was 59,000 and current year it is 33,000. So the last year balance of 59,000 will be added to the subtotal of part A, operating activities, part B, investing activities, and part C, financing activities, and ultimately it should come to the total of the closing balance, that is 33,000. And the last one is other current asset. Last year it was showing 2,000, current year it is showing nil. That means there is a decrease, but as well we'll have to see the note number 2 also. So let us see the notes to accounts. The note number 1 is regarding the fixed tangible asset, that is the fixed asset. Last year the value of fixed asset was 2,20,000. Current year the value is 3,75,000. And accumulated depreciation is shown separately as a deduction. Last year it was 36,000. Current year it is 52,000. So since accumulated depreciation is being shown separately, therefore we can very well understand that in this case the assets are shown at original cost, and therefore in this case we need to prepare the fixed account separately and accumulated depreciation account separately. So the opening balance of 2,20,000 of fixed asset will be shown on the debit side of fixed asset account, and closing balance of 3,75,000 will be shown on the credit side of fixed asset account, and then we will calculate the balancing figure. Similarly, accumulated depreciation, it's kind of a provision, so its opening balance of 36,000 will be shown on the credit side, whereas its closing balance of 52,000 will be shown on the debit side. Then note number 2 was regarding the other current assets, prepaid expenses. So you can see last year there was a prepaid expense of 2,000, but current year there is no prepaid expense. That means it is a decrease in current asset, and this decrease in current asset will be added to the operating profit before working capital changes. Now the additional information, contingent liability, last year proposed dividend was 20,000. That means this is the proposed dividend of the previous year, which might have been approved in the current year. So hence it will be assumed that it is paid in the current year, and that's why it will be added back to the profits while calculating net profit before tax, and also it will be shown as an outflow under the financing activities. Then proposed dividend of the current year it will not be a part of cash flow statement, it will remain as a contingent liability. Then the second point, interest paid on long term borrowings amounted to rupees 8,000. So it is interest paid, it will be a cash outflow, it will be shown under the financing activities as a deduction, and also it will be added back to the net profit before tax while calculating the non-cash and non-operating items under the operating activities. And same we'll do with the amount of depreciation for the year, so calculated by preparing the accumulated depreciation account. Now what you have to do in this question is you are required to prepare a cash flow statement. So before starting with the preparation of cash flow statement, let us prepare the working notes first of all. So here you can see the working note regarding the fixed asset account and accumulated depreciation account. As you can see, on the debit side we have shown the opening balance of fixed asset account, that is 2,20,000, and on the credit side we have shown 3,75,000. Since there is no purchase or no sale, and here we are preparing the asset on original cost method because accumulated depreciation is being shown separately. So therefore now simply we can close the balance, close the account. And after comparing, we found out that the credit side is greater than the debit side. That means the deficiency of 1,55,000 is to be put on the debit side. And if we are putting something on the debit side, that means the asset would have increased. So we have assumed this balancing figure of 1,55,000 as the purchase of fixed asset, and that we have shown as two bank balancing figure being purchased 1,55,000. And this purchase of 1,55,000, it is a cash outflow because fixed asset is being purchased and money is being paid in return, and therefore it will be shown as a cash outflow. It will be deducted under the investing activities. Next is accumulated depreciation account. On the credit side we have shown the opening balance of 36,000, and on the debit side we have shown the closing balance of 52,000. Now since in the absence of any information, we will simply close the balance the account. And after balancing or while balancing, we found out that the debit side of the accumulated depreciation is greater than the credit side by amounting to rupees 16,000. That means something is to be put on the credit side of accumulated depreciation amounting to 16,000. So anything which is put on the accumulated depreciation account credit side, it increases it. So there is one thing which can increase the accumulated depreciation balance, and that is the depreciation charge during the current year, and that we will show as by statement of PL because it is a company's cash flow statement. We cannot write by profit and loss account, we have to write by statement of PL or profit and loss, balancing figure being current year's depreciation 16,000. Now this 16,000 of current year depreciation will be added back to the net profit before tax while adjusting the non-cash and non-operating items. So this is the working note regarding the fixed asset and accumulated depreciation. Now since in this question no information was given regarding the provision for tax made during the year or income tax paid during the year, so we need not prepare the provision for tax account. We can simply what we can do is the current year provision for tax can be added back to the net profit before tax, and the previous year provision for tax can be deducted as income tax paid under the operating activities. Now the another working note is the note for calculation of net profit before tax. As you can see, the reserve and surplus balance, because there was nothing else mentioned, so we have assumed the reserve and surplus balance is showing the balance of statement of PL. So the closing balance of statement of PL or the current year balance is 1,25,000 minus the previous year balance of 20,000. So that means there is a net profit of 1,05,000. So to this we will add proposed dividend of the previous year 20,000, plus we will add provision for tax of the current year 15,000. So ultimately the net profit before tax will be coming to 1,40,000, with which we have to start our cash flow. Now let us have a look at the cash flow. Very important, you have to write the date. We have written cash flow statement for the year ended 31st March 2018. The A point or the A part is the cash flow from operating activities. We are starting it with the point of net profit before tax as we have calculated in the working note, because it has to be shown in the working note only 1,40,000. Now step 1 is done. Step 2 is the adjustment for non-cash and non-operating items. So in this we are adding back the depreciation on fixed assets which we have calculated from accumulated depreciation account 16,000, and we have also added back interest paid on long-term borrowings which was given in the additional information. We are adding it back because it will be deducted under the financing activities 8,000. Then we have, and since there is no other item of non-cash and non-operating nature, so we have simply added it, and we have got operating profit before working capital changes as 1,64,000. So now we have to do the adjustment for current asset and current liability. To this we have added the decrease in current assets, that is trade receivables 24,000 and prepaid expenses 2,000. That means total of 26,000 is the decrease in current asset which is to be added to 1,64,000. So we have got 1,90,000. Then to this we have to deduct increase in current asset, that is inventory 22,000, and we have to decrease we have to also deduct the decrease in current liability trade payable, that is 26,000. So that means total we have to deduct 48,000 from 1,90,000. So ultimately we will be getting the amount of 1,42,000. Now from this we will deduct the payment of tax or income tax paid, which will be the provision of tax of the last year, that is 10,000. So ultimately we are getting a positive balance of 1,32,000. Now since it is a positive balance, so we will write net cash from operating activities. So part A is completed. Now part B, cash flow from investing activity. Now in this question there is no other investing activity, only one is there, that is purchase of fixed asset, which we have calculated as a balancing figure by preparing fixed asset account. And since it is a purchase of fixed asset, that means we are purchasing the asset and we are paying the money. So therefore it is a cash outflow of 1,55,000, and therefore we have shown in bracket because it is being deducted. So the total of net cash used in investing activity will also be 1,55,000 negative balance. Then cash flow from financing activity. The first point is proceeds from long-term borrowings, that is 25,000. Then payment of dividends for 2017, that is the proposed dividend of the last year, that is 20,000. Since we are paying it, therefore it is an outflow and it is put in brackets. Then payment of interest, again it is a cash outflow. It will be deducted here because it was added back there in the operating activities. It will be deducted, therefore it is being put in the brackets. So we are adding the inflow of 25,000 and we are deducting the outflows of 28,000. So there will be a negative balance of 3,000, that is net cash used in financing activities. So we can see that part A total was 1,32,000, part B total is minus 1,55,000, and part C total is minus 3,000. So when we club all these, when we add A, B and C, we get the net increase or decrease. Now if it was a positive balance, it would have been increase. Since it is a negative balance of 26,000, so it is a net decrease in cash and cash equivalents. So to this we will add the cash and cash equivalents in the beginning of the period, which is given in the question, that is the last year balance of cash and cash equivalent, that is 59,000. So 59,000 plus negative or minus 26,000 will ultimately come to 33,000 positive balance. And as you can see, this is same to the cash and cash equivalents at the end of the period, which is being shown. So it is kind of a cross check also. So this is a full-fledged cash flow statement which we have prepared. I hope it is clear to you, children. These are the type of full-fledged question which is being asked. This is the working note regarding fixed asset account. Now this is the assignment. Based on this part, you have to answer the following questions in your register. You have to solve practical question number 35, 36, 44, 46 and 49 from the chapter cash flow statement of your accounts book by D.K. Goyal volume 2. So I hope the topics are clear to you, children. Go through the videos and solve as many questions as you can. Thank you, children. Take care.